Obama is about to give away the store. That's what we'll talk about in the video today. For 30 years, there has been pressure on the United States to submit to the jurisdiction of the International Criminal Court, a creation of the United Nations. And this court would have the power to supersede all national courts in the world, including the United States Supreme Court. I mean, literally, you could have someone who's indicted for a crime, tried in the United States, acquitted, who then gets convicted by the International Court. And you could have decisions of the U.S. Supreme Court appealed to the International Court. It would set this up as the supreme judicial body in the world. But it gets worse. What they're trying to do, its movement is inspired by European leftists, is they are trying to say that there is a new crime called the crime of aggression. And aggression is defined as going to war without the blessing of the United Nations. In other words, without Russia and China agreeing and without their vetoing it. And that if you don't have that blessing, you are committing an international crime, a human rights crime. And the President and the Secretary of State and the Defense Secretary can all be indicted criminally in the International Criminal Court for committing the crime of aggression, like Milosevic or Idi Amin or some other war criminal. It's absolutely stunning. In fact, when Bush was traveling last year to Switzerland to accept an award, they threatened him with arrest, and he canceled the trip. And when he was traveling in East Africa a couple of months ago, there were calls for the East African governments to arrest him, because he went to war without Russia and China approving it in the United Nations, because that's what the UN approval boils down to, because they have this veto. Now, in the past, the United States has refused to have anything to do with the International Criminal Court, but the Obama administration has announced that it is going to enter the negotiations over the International Criminal Court. And they have all the usual caveats. Oh, we're not going to endanger our defense. We're going to keep our national sovereignty about going to war. But it is a slippery slope. And once we accept the jurisdiction of the court, the treaty says the court sets its own jurisdiction. The court decides on what its jurisdiction is. This is the most concrete step toward world government. And by world government, what we really mean is domination by the left wing in Europe, which is what passes for the global community at this point. Absolutely crucial that the United States have nothing to do with this International Criminal Court. And it's in play right now. I think Obama and Hillary are determined to sign as many of these treaties as they can, jam them through the Democratic-controlled Senate before they lose the election later this year. Thanks for watching.